Cuba is at a turning point. Decades of isolation from the USA are set to end, and tourism is leading a new spirit of enterprise here.
The wheels are in motion, but everyone's wondering exactly where is Cuba headed right now.
The economy may benefit, but is this country in danger of losing its soul? Those precious assets that make this place, well, Cuba. On my first trip here for nearly 20 years, I'm on a mission to find out. It may be a small island 90 miles off the coast of Florida, but Cuba has a unique story to tell. Ever since Fidel Castro and his band of revolutionaries seized control in 1959, the country has followed its own socialist path. The USA imposed a trade embargo on Cuba in the early 60s, and Americans here were told to return home immediately.
Cars like this were left behind when the rich American playboys left town after the revolution. Now it looks like they're on their way back.
Because relations have thawed between the two countries, and vintage cars are a hit amongst tourists who are here already.
Julio, you're restoring this 1958 Chevrolet Bel Air car, lovely car.
Okay.
Can I help?
Okay, come on, please. Sit down.
Okay.
In this moment, the checking,
Yep.
the white,
The window.
Okay, the window.
wipers,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. This moment, check it.
Is it turning?
Okay, this moment, deck, open.
Is that enough?
Open. Okay. Okay,
Is
it's
it?
perfect.
Okay. It's incredible actually going inside these old cars. They're beautiful old cars, aren't they?
Yes,
And all
yes.
these wires and wow, made in the 1940s and 50s. Incredible. I feel like a master craftsman, even though all I was doing was actually just doing this and this. But nonetheless, wow.
Pasarle un poco de lija a este coche que está en bastante malas condiciones, okay?
Okay.
And you?
Yeah.
Julio was a taxi driver 5 years ago with his beloved 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air. Now he's taken advantage of government reforms and is a partner in a business that restores and hires out classic vehicles to tourists. There are now 22 cars in total under the Nostalgica banner.
This is such a rewarding thing to do. And look, it's already getting cleaner. I haven't even started painting yet.
If the United States allow to all the tourists come here,
Which will happen,
will
yeah.
be very, very important for us, for this business particularly.
The business brain behind Nostalgicars is Julio's wife, Nidialis, who's already been invited to Washington by the US Vice President in recognition of her entrepreneurial acumen. She's lucky. Most Cubans can't travel.
For us, it's very important when he finished this restoration to get money for that work.
So you do get more money.
We live much better. We can travel, we live like capitalists, but
Yeah.
we work a lot, but we live better too.
It's only 3 in Cuba.
Only 3 of these
Yes,
in
yes,
the whole
yeah.
of Cuba.
Yes, yes, yes.
In a country where even a brain surgeon can earn only $30 a month, running a private enterprise like this can be relatively lucrative. It was Nidialis who was quick to see the appeal of vintage Chevrolets to foreigners.
Beautiful car, beautiful. Can we go for a drive?
Nidialis wasn't always a fan of these vintage vehicles. Now she has names for all of them, including her favourite, Lola.
At the beginning, I didn't like to drive, but now I love to drive. It's very easy, and it's not very common to see a woman driving this kind of car.
What's happening here?
There is a Wi-Fi area in this park, and they are connecting with internet.
Oh, wow, so it's like a hotspot that everyone comes
Yes.
to get online. Wow.
Yes.
The internet is the revolution that passed Cuba by. For most, it's unaffordable and restricted. Take a stroll around town and you see more evidence of a gulf in wealth. Ration shops, poor housing conditions, and two parallel currencies, one for locals and one for tourists.
You should buy this one.
I should buy that one.
This market trader tried to explain it to me.
This is what?
Yeah, this is convertible pesos, and this one is Cuban pesos, normal pesos.
Well, I have two different types of currency.
We have to find a way to reduplicate. You know, we are not allowed to use dollars. This is a way to do business in Cuba.
Okay.
Without the dollar. And in short time, it's going to disappear.
Okay.
It's going to be just one currency.
Soon, that'll happen.
Soon.
When
I
the,
hope
when,
so.
the, when the embargo lifts.
I hope so.
You hope so. Listen, from that explanation, I'm going to give you a tip.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you are. You can
You're
keep
very
that.
kind. You just brought the blockade. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Well,
But on the flip side, there is a strong sense of national pride here, of pulling through, and many local communities have thriving cultural scenes. The Calejo de Jamel, complete with murals and crazy artworks, is a shrine to Cuba's African roots.
This is the voice of Black Cuba. Raw, intense, even sometimes angry. Always emotional and passionate.
The street is the brainchild of local artist Salvador. He encountered opposition from the authorities who accused him of promoting dangerous mystical beliefs.
En realidad es verdad. Hubo mucha resistencia. Recuerda que estos valores de cultura negra no son siempre aceptados. Yo no soy un proselitista religioso. Yo soy un proselitista de mi cultura nacional.
And then, rather rashly perhaps, the performers let me join in. From the raw and passionate to the sublime. The Cuban National Ballet School, founded in 1962, today with some 3,000 students, is the biggest of its kind in the world. This couple are partners on and off stage, and they feel ballet has a unique place in the Cuban way of life.
Pues digamos, para que entiendan un poquito, que viene siendo como el fútbol en Europa, en el mundo entero, el béisbol aquí en Cuba. Entonces creo que es masivo. Es de todo el mundo adora el ballet, todo el mundo quiere estudiar ballet. Entonces yo creo que por eso es que le decimos que es tan popular en Cuba.
As rising stars, Annette and Danny live in a nice part of town with their young daughter, but they say there is no sense of celebrity here.
Aquí en Cuba somos personas normales, somos como todos, pero no hay esa cosa de que la prensa está encima de ti, de que quieren saber de tu vida. Simplemente somos personas normales que conviven con las demás.
But people recognize you in la calle. People go, ah, it's Danny, it's Annette.
A veces, sí, en ocasiones sí.
And as night falls in the city, old Havana loves to celebrate its artistic side. The Gran Teatro de la Habana, a Havana landmark since 1838. But with the Castro government's belief in arts for all, it's become a theatre for the people, not just the privileged. It's a big charity gala tonight, the talk of the town, and choreographed by the living legend of Cuban ballet, Alicia Alonso. Danny and Annette get themselves ready. And so to the centerpiece of tonight's show. Annette and Danny perform a sequence from the ballet Giselle. It may look effortless, but this is the result of years of dedication. And a passion that I've already noticed so many Cubans share. Head out of Havana and there's an awful lot more to discover about the Cuban archipelago. My next destination is Trinidad, the sugar town, halfway along the coast of the main island, some 350 kilometers from the capital. One really cool thing I've noticed about Cuba is there's hardly any traffic. We've been driving down some of the main arteries in the island on our way to Trinidad, and I've hardly seen any cars. This is what perpetuates the notion that Cuba is stuck in a time warp, a perfectly preserved Spanish-era colonial settlement. Tourism is Cuba's biggest industry, and it's currently booming, fueled by the rush of people anticipating the end of an era with the lifting of US sanctions. Hotel rooms in the capital especially are now very heavily booked, which leaves the traveller on a limited budget with the very Cuban option of casas particulares. This is basically the Airbnb prototype, whereby people lease out their spare rooms to tourists, and for many, this is a lifeline out of poverty. But where is the man that actually runs this B&B?
Hola! How are you?
I'm very well.
Welcome.
Hello, Julio. How are
Nice
you?
to meet you.
And who is this?
Let me introduce you. She's Luna de Miel.
Luna de
He's
Miel.
my favorite horse.
Turns out, Julio has several strings to his bow. Not just a hotelier, but also a horse whisperer. And you're going to show me exactly how to keep the horse calm and make her trained. Is that right?
Yes, I will show you
Fantastic.
right now. You see, she's starting to be nervous.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because the neck goes up.
Yes.
And of course, Luna's restlessness can reveal itself in other ways.
Oh my God. Yay! Nice. This is really, really nice.
Do you actually talk into the ear or not?
Oh, no.
There's no whispering.
This is the funny thing. We never whisper. We never whisper at all.
Right.
What we do is first establishing the leadership and then using the body language. I have a solution for you. You and me, we lose the hair. And I know the hair transplant could be very expensive, but you can do this. You see?
Yeah, you look like a heavy metal rock star.
Yeah.
Which is appropriate, as Julio's favourite band is Iron Maiden.
The only thing you need is a horse and a cheap hat.
On a more serious note, Julio and his wife, who is a trained accountant, are more proof on my trip of the entrepreneurial spirit that is blossoming all around the island. He's an ambitious man.
What I expect, I need, because it's my way to be more freedom to do business. I'm not afraid too many things because I know Cubans are smart enough and they won't lose the Cuban identity. So some Americans, because I work a lot with American people, and they say, oh, soon you will have McDonald's, Starbucks, things like this. But maybe we can have things similar, but in our style, in our Cuban style, because I like the hamburgers and I like the coffee. I like to enjoy the good coffee, but within our style.
Julio took me on a trip around Trinidad by horse and cart, of course. On the town's cobbled streets, it's the most practical way.
Would you like to try?
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
So it's not a Mercedes, but it's really good anyway. Ah, you're doing very well. Just the common sense will tell you what you should do.
Common sense is everything, yeah. But I think the clue is, the trick is soft hands.
Soft hands. Vertical like this. You just want...
And our man of many talents isn't finished yet. Julio runs photography courses for tourists too.
Here is an interesting location. What do you like about here?
Well, the conception about this kind of street photography is like hunting. Hunting, but instead to use a gun, rifle, you are using the camera. Not like this, like you do it, just like this.
Julio actually likens his style to a gunslinger, the John Wayne technique he calls it.
Feel like in the cowboy movies you see before shooting they do with the fingers like this.
Yeah.
This is the feeling you should have. Feel the adrenaline.
Feel the adrenaline.
The adrenaline and the movements. Yes, this is the way to keep the camera. So the movement like this. Vertical.
Very good.
Julio finds his perfect shot.
The beautiful tower is the symbol of Trinidad.
Yeah.
So I predict to shoot when the car reach that point.
Okay. Show me.
One shot is enough.
Wow. Bang.
You see?
He's on a roll here.
No chase the picture. The picture will come to you.
You love who?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden. What's your favourite song by Iron Maiden?
Could be, I think, all of them.
All of them?
But Run to the Hills.
Run to the Hills. Remind me, how does that go again?
Run to the hills.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
For
Yeah.
you life.
Run to the hills. That, yeah?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I like that.
Fear of the dark.
Just down the coast and about 180 kilometers southeast of Havana is Ciénaga de Zapata. This is where you find the historically significant Bay of Pigs, the scene of the failed invasion by Cuban opponents to Castro in 1961, which was backed by the US government. Any invasion these days is from a new rush of tourists to sample the island's nature, which potentially itself creates a new problem. Because up until now, Cuba has been fiercely protective of its environment and wildlife. And that includes protecting this fellow. The critically endangered Cuban crocodile. This breeding farm was created at the behest of Fidel Castro in 1962. There are some 4,000 crocs here in total, separated by age and then size.
Wow, check this out. Obviously they can't bite now.
Yes.
But the markings, are they distinctive? The colours and the markings
Yes.
of the skin?
Yes, it's one of the characteristics of the Cuban crocodile.
That's what makes them unique.
One of the difference between Cuban and American.
Yeah. Whoa, look at that, one movement from me. When they get bigger, I'll be the one that's jumping.
Crossbreeding with the thriving American crocodile is the biggest current threat to the Cuban croc's survival.
This area we prepare for the reproduction. They need the area for water, for sun, and for shadow. They need water and land.
And this is what makes the Cuban crocodile so unique. They jump for their food.
They can jump his size using the tail.
And all of this is to protect the species of the Cuban crocodile.
Yes.
And to stop it from being overrun by American crocodiles. Do you think there is something symbolic here?
I don't know. Maybe.
My time in Cuba is about to end, but sunrise the next morning gives me one more special glimpse of this island's wildlife. This is Salinas de Brito, the biggest swampland in the Caribbean. It's also home to 33 kinds of aquatic birds, including one of the most glamorous, the pink flamingo. Who come and go as they please. Now, not all residents of Cuba enjoy that kind of freedom, of course, and certainly not over how their country is run. But who knows where the current path of reform and change may lead.
There's no turning back now for Cuba, and the rest of the world will watch with keen interest to see how this feisty, proud island negotiates its journey into the unknown.